about anti-takeover amendments. So what anti-takeover amendments are, and what are the different kind of anti-takeover amendments which a company will use to avoid the merger or acquisition or a kind of a takeover. Those are called as corporate standard amendments. The anti-takeover amendments are also called as corporate standard amendments. Okay, the first amendment is staggered board amendments. So a staggered board amendment is that amendment. It is a type of defense where the term of the board of directors, so that only a few, such as 1/3 of the director, may be elected during any one given a year. It requires shareholders' approval before they can implement this. Classified directors cannot be removed before their term expires. So in staggered board amendments, what happens is only out of the total number of directors, 1/3 amount of directors will get elected. And if the remaining directors, if they are still having their time, or if they are still having their like time about their total voting, they will rule, they will be as a director. But once their parade is over, only 1/3 amount of director will be having the right to become a director in the firm or a company. So here what happens, you will be giving less amount of a chance for a company or the outsiders to become the director of your company. In that case, it will become a kind of amendment, right? You are making an amendment. Why? Because you want a defense. So for the sake of defense, you are making a particular kind of amendment. Similarly, the second kind of amendment is supermajority provisions. These provisions usually requires that at least 80% of voting shareholders approve of the takeover, as opposed to a simple 51 majority. Such a requirement can make it nearly impossible for an acquirer to obtain enough votes approving the takeovers. So here they tell that to have a takeover, there in this particular situation, they tell about 80% of voting rights, where 80% will be like impossible, as 51% was majority in general case. But super majority provision, if it is applied, it becomes 80%, which will be impossible for the person who is doing hostile takeover. So in that case, your company will not go under any kind of takeover, amalgamation, or a merger. So it becomes a particular amendment to have a kind of defense for going a hostile takeover. All right. So that is a super majority provisions. Fair price provisions. It is a modification of corporation charter that requires the acquirer to pay the minority shareholders at least a fair market price for the company's stock, right? It is usually in terms of company's profit earning ratio. It is a weak takeover defense. Okay, so this is also a amendment, and it is a kind of a defense tool. Even a company acquirer company will try to use this. This is a weak defense, in fact, because it doesn't have a main prominent role as the other kind of amendments. But here you will make a fair price provision that the acquirer company, they have to pay money to the minority shareholders, right? Who are the minority shareholders or the target company in other way, at least the fair market price. Whatever is the market price, at least the fair market price they have to pay to the company's stock. So by seeing the fair market price, sometimes the hostile takeover company or acquirer company, they feel that why to pay that much of amount to the minority shareholders, and they want to pay less than that of market price. So in some situation, this will act as a defense amendment. This amendment will act as a defense, but this defense will become again a weak takeover defense. It will not be that strong enough to stop the hostile kind of takeover, right? But it is a kind of defense in some cases where companies can even utilize this particular tool to uh, to overcome the problems of defense, to overcome the problem of takeover, right? Anti takeover defense it can act. Next is dual capitalization. Okay, the dual capitalization is restructuring of equity into two classes of stock with different voting rights, right? Here, a company which has one capitalization, one equity shares, so they will make an amendment, they will make a changes in their particular stock and equity. They'll make two classes of stock with different voting rights. So by this particular situation, what will happen? One section will be having the voting rights and other section will be having the ownership. So voting right will get minimum. When the voting right has been minimized, in that case, other hostile takeover company or acquirer company cannot participate in your company or cannot make a decision, cannot take a decision in your company. So a dual capitalization theory or dual capitalization amendment will be followed in some company, which is also a kind of amendment for takeover defense. Then there is also a concept called as concept of golden shares, right? In dual capitalization, some of the golden shares will be issued, where in golden shares are those where that particular share will have a more capitalization value. Shares are might be of the same number, but the value will be more. Such golden shares, they will be holding the majority weightage in your company's capitalization. So these all are things where these are the amendments which a company may be doing to avoid the takeover, or it is a kind of a defense which they do want that, which they don't want that the other hostile takeover company should take over their particular company. Similarly, poison pills, right? Poison pills is also a kind of amendment as well as a strategy, a defense takeover strategy. We have already studied this. It is a kind of a pill which a company will use to where a attempt is made by some company, take hostile takeover company. They will just have a pill so that by this pill, the target company attempts to make the stock less attractive, right? The stock of the target company will look less attractive. When something is looking less attractive, then particularly the hostile company will not come towards you to take over it. So there are different kind of poison pills available which they can take it, like flip over, flip in, then back end plans, voting plans, shadow pills, chewable pills, and bank mail pills. So these are the different kind of pills which they use. Flip in is allows existing shareholders to buy more shares, right? They allow the existing shareholder of the company to buy more and more shares at a discounted price. By this, what happens? The shares will be sold within the company itself, so the outsiders cannot buy it. So it again becomes an amendment also, a flip in kind of things. Flip over allows the stock to buy the acquired companies at a discount price after the merger, right? Here what happens, the acquirers shares, the other company shares, management will tell them to buy at a discounted price. Your own shareholders will buy the acquirer company's shares at a discounted price. Why? Because you want to control that company also. So that is a flip over kind of things. Then backend plans, it is known as purchase right plans. Here are used to try the limit the effectiveness of two tiered offers. And the name backend plan refers to backend of two tiered offers. When there are two tiered offers, to avoid that particular thing, we are using the backend plans. Voting plans to minimize the voting. This is the poison pill strategy is designed to dilute the controlling power. Right? The controlling power will get diluted. When it is diluted, the number of people have limited number of people have votes, and your own people will have more number of votes from your company. So when voting is given to your majority of board of directors, naturally you are going to become the management. Then shadow pill, a bidder cannot simply look at the target company and conclude from the fact such a defense. The target company may simply adopt a pill after a bid has taken successful. Right. So a company may also have a poison pill which is not openly advertised. Right. Openly they will not advertise it, but they can use this shadow pill. Right. In a hidden or a secret way, the company can use this as a defense and amendment technique to avoid the takeover. Chewable pills. These are the pills that disappears, like a chewable kind of some materials or chocolates, etc. These will disappear. A company will use this pill for some time, and this pills or this kind of techniques will get disappear after some period of time. If a company receives a certain type of offer, such as certain price or a type of consideration, like for example, if a company A wants to take over a company B, it may have to pay a minimum price set by the board of a company B, else poison pill will be triggered. Right now, here they will tell a minimum price they have to pay, or else if they don't pay, then the poison pill will be triggered. In that case, such kind of pill which is triggered, it is called as chewable pill. Then blackmail pills, where it is also target firms refuses financing option to firm to take over bids. Their triple impact for imposing financial restrictions upon acquiring. And these kind of pill are generally affecting where there is takeover bids are happening. Right, takeover bids are happening. There, these kind of defensive strategies pill will affect. Now, golden parachute we have studied already. These are those parachute, as you can see in the picture. To your top management and to the top authorities, you will be paying more and more amount. Maybe these people are the senior executives, senior officers. You will pay more and more amount to them, so that even they will be happy. Even they will be happy. And ultimately, when you pay more amount of money to them, your ultimately capital will get affected. In fact, your profitability will get affected, liquidity will get affected, and your company will also look less attractive towards the to the hostile company, acquirer company. So this kind of strategy they use. Right. So as we can see, even in the picture, Yahoo and Microsoft was there. Yahoo has, when they acquired the Microsoft, a bigger company, when they acquire the small companies, generally the small company will use these kind of tactics. Golden parachute they do. And silver parachutes are also there. Then silver parachute, if it is given to the most of the firm's employees, that becomes a silver parachute. But the top management people, if you are giving, instead of employees, if you give to the top management people, it is called as the golden parachutes. Then active anti-takeover defense, like we studied, these all defense. Green mail are there, white knight are there, white square is there, Pac-Man defense is there, crown jewel defense is there, litigation is there, people mail, Jonestown defense is there, then standstill agreement, capital structure changes are there. Okay, so green mail are those where you can have the payment of substantial premium for the significant shareholders. You will be paying more amount of premium to your shareholders. By that, your shareholders will also get profitable. They will get motivated, but ultimately it will look less attractive to the hostile takeover company or acquired company. White knight, gray knight, black knight, yellow knight, and Macbeth. These are all you can call as the same. White knight, it is a company that is more favorable compared to the hostile company. Dark knight, right? And then gray knight is acquiring company that enters a bid for a hostile takeover in addition to the target firm, and first bidder perceived as more favorable than black knight. Right. So here, yellow knight, a company that was once making a takeover attempt but ends up discussing a merger with a target company. So these all different situations, like we just saw that white knight, gray knight, black knight, yellow knight, and Macbeth. These are terms related with the takeover and takeover defense. And Lady Macbeth strategy, a corporate takeover strategy, with which a third party poses as a white knight to gain trust, but then turns out as and joins with unfriendly bidders. Right, that is called as Lady Macbeth strategy. Right. White square defense, we have studied this. Pac-Man defense. Okay, the best defense is good offense, right? The best defense is the good offense. It occurs when the target company makes an offer to buy the hostile company in response to hostile bid for the target, right? When the hostile company is telling you that it wants to buy the target company, in return, what they do is they will tell to the hostile company that we want to buy your company, right? As you can see the meaning, it occurs when a target company makes an offer to buy the hostile company, right? They, in return, they will tell the target company to the hostile company that in response to the hostile company's bid for the target company, in response to their bid, they will tell that we will buy your company, right? By this, what happens in the picture above, you can see the bigger company was there, which was acquiring the small companies. But in small picture, you see a small company is there. Now it is going to acquire all the companies, other companies. So by this, they will have a fear in the mind, the hostile company. They will try to protect themselves instead of buying the other company, the target company. They will try to buy back their own shares, right? The hostile company, they will try to buy back their own shares from the market. So they will be having less amount of money to buy your shares. So this strategy, which they use, defense amendment strategy, is called as Pac-Man defense. Crown gel, we have already seen. We will sell our own crown. Either it is assets or either any of the most attractive kind of wealth or assets of a company will sell to the third party, friendly third party. And when we sell it to the friendly third party, our company will look very less attractive. And the people might not be interested now because we have sold our crown itself. Standstill agreement are those where a contract that stalls or stops the process of hostile takeover. The target firm either offers to repurchase the shares or held by the hostile bidders, right? It will start repurchasing the shares from the market, which the hostile company has taken, right? Capital structure changes. They will restructure their capital, right? Recapitalization, assume more debt, bonds, bank loan, etc. By this capital structure changes, your company either they have a different capital structure now, as well as your company's total capitalization has changed, right? Capitalization has changed. More bank loan is there, more bonds are there, more amount of debt is there. So more interest you have to pay to the bank, more interest you have to pay to the debenture holders, bound, etc. So now when you have to pay more amount of money as an interest, as you will be getting less amount of profit. So again, you are going to look less attractive to the hostile company. Issue more shares. These are again the techniques what you can use. People mail, right, is also there. Then Johnstown defense. So these are some of the important kind of